Yes, I can. What about you?
I can hear you loud and clear. How are you today?
I'm fine. What about you?
Oh, I'm really good, really good. Thank you for asking. And how was your day so far? What did you do today?
I think that is really good, and I think that I received the test score for the first subject, and tomorrow I will have another test.
Another time.
Yeah, another test for
Okay.
the ninth subject.
Matt?
No, math I already have.
Okay, and what subject did you have so far? Okay, today. Okay, can you please tell me about today?
So today that I have a test for the biology and chemistry.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that equal one test, and you know that I think that I don't talk to you about the history and geography test score, right? Have I
Uh,
talked?
no? How
No,
was it?
okay. Um, but I think that you might remember that I told you about how I received prizes. There's no subjects that under 8,
Yes?
and because of the subject I received today, my money also resets back to 0.
Why?
Because I got 7 and 7.5 out of 10. And I have a bet with my parents that if no test under 8, every subject I got 9, 9.5, and 10, I receive money.
Yes?
But yeah, just one subject under 8, that just resets money to 0. I talked to you. And I think that now I have to wait for the end term test, and that is my last opportunities. But my teacher spoilers that the test is not going to be an easy task. So I think that I won't receive any money from my parents in the end term test. And in conclusion, is that the whole year I don't receive any money because that every test that I have at least a subject that under 8. So I think that I'll tell you back about the history of how I received no money. So about the midterm 1 test, the first grade 8 test, that is the subject I supposed to be get about $2.50 of a price, about 50,000 down. But if I remember correctly, then the subject that resets my money is the graduate of the citizen. That also tomorrow I will have a test for it. So I got 7.5 out of 10, and it breaks my chain. About the mid end term 1 test, the second test that I'm supposedly will get 60.
Okay.
60 60 Vietnamese down 60,000 Vietnamese down for the price. But again, one subject that also resets my money, and that is physics. At that time, that the the biology and the physics combined. And
Okay.
I got 7 out of 10. So that also resets. And the third test, you may know, I have already took. So I have one opportunity left. In order that I have no other ways to receive money from my parents. It is so hard.
Okay, and you mentioned these tests that are so hard. Okay, so for example, okay, I understand that you have a lot of tests, a lot of different subjects, and you need to do. So, okay, let's start with geography and let's say history. Okay,
Yes.
so what was hard about this subject? What is something that you didn't know about these subjects? Can you give me, for example, one example? What
Of a
happened?
question in test.
Yes, what
And
happened?
that's actually, wait, I think that now I will, here, the history, I got the 4.25 out of 5 or 8.5 out of 10. And I lose, there are 8 multiple choice questions, and I have all 8 of them correct. But the next one is the writing questions, that there are two of them. One is the true false, and second is the true writing. So the true false, I got it right. One received to me. Wait, I only got about half a point because that I think that I know that every student in my class that wrong that same question because we didn't read the questions correctly. So all of my classmates doing the same wrong questions. So nobody's get 5 out of 5. I'm one of them. And the next one is the question that I lose all of the points. This question is half a point, but 1 point if you scale up. The geography and history is count at 1 subject in Vietnam, so each subject equal 5 points. So that's a question worth half a point, and I don't receive any of those. And that's because the question is to prove that World War I is a useless and very bloody war in the entire world history, like that. That is the question that I don't receive anything, because that I talk about a lot of circumstances after the World War I, but do you know what I miss? I have to talk about the origin, that why the World War I happened, and that's actually the point. If you answer I talk about many things about the circumstances, like 85 million people died, 10 million people died, 20 million people got sick, and $85 billion is waste in 38 countries that are in like that. I talk about all of that things, but I forgot to talk about the origin, that why did that happen, and who makes that happen, like so. And so that I received no points for that, and that's how I lose 1.5 points, or 0.75 in history, like that. And I think that, do you want me to talk about the geography also?
No. Okay, we will talk about geography. I just want to ask you something. Okay, this is just friendly suggestion. I have 2 things that I want to speak about you. First, because my grandpa, okay, he passed away. He died 18 years ago. He teach me how to learn history.
Yes.
You don't stay and learn history. Read. He tried to tell me the stories, just like a story. Okay, what happened? Why that happened? Okay, so I didn't learn like, okay, I need to. Here's the book. I need to learn I need to learn like a book, and like this. He teach me like a story. He used to speak, for example, and I didn't learn. In any time, I didn't learn history like a subject that I need. Okay, I need to study and I need to learn, because when we have for example, dinner, or when we have a lunch, okay, because he's a history teacher, and when we have a lunch, he used to tell me some stories about it. Okay, so he told me what happened, why happened, etc. So, and that was in interesting manner. He used to teach me in interesting manner, and I remember that I learned history through like a story, not like a subject, and I remember everything. And so I used to love history and geography, especially history. That is the one thing. This is my suggestion to you. Try to learn as a story, not like, oh, I need to learn. It's boring. It's something that happened a long time ago. I don't have any benefits of this, or something like this. I know that history, maybe it's boring for you.
Yes.
I understand that. I understand. So some people don't like that. And why should I know? Okay, so this is something that happened. The second thing that was what was interesting about this, about why I smiled during your speaking about this question, what happened in the World War I. Okay, so World War I started in my country. Did you know that?
Wait, can you say again? Wait.
World War I started in my country.
I think that in my history book, I might have noticed that.
Okay, so World War I started in my country. Do you know how it started? Okay, I will tell you the story. You don't need to remember.
Yeah.
So there was one guy, Gavrilo Princip. He used to be in they call this Youth of Bosnia.
Yes.
In this organization, and he killed, for example, this is like a prince or a king of Austria.
Yes.
He killed this man in city that used to be in my country, and that was the trigger to start World War I.
Yes.
So he was killed. Okay, Gavrilo Princip killed prince or king of Austria, and that was the start of the World War I. And that happened in my country.
Yeah.
In country where we used to live. To be precise, in Bosnia. That started in Bosnia, in called Sarajevo. Sarajevo. That is the city where all started. And after that, that was the trigger. Austria came and attacked my country, etc. And there was battles and everything. And that was the trigger to start World War I.
Yes. Yeah, this is the fact that now that I know about it.
Yes. So this is.
Wait, can you just talk? I forgot.
Okay, so this is. I'm telling you. Okay, if you want to remember, you will remember. If you don't want to remember, it's okay. You don't need to remember. But this is. I'm telling you like a story. So what happened? This king or prince, he arrived, and one guy, he was around 20 years old. He killed him, and that was the start of the World War I.
Yeah, I think that I know it from the World War I and the Revolution. I have a lesson in my history book that is the World War I and the October Revolutionary in Spain,
Russia,
in 1917.
Russia.
These two, in Russia. No, in Russia. Yes, I forgot. The revolutionary in Russia in 1917 and the World War I is being studied in the same lesson.
Like yes.
Yeah, yes. It's a bit of the relationship between them.
World War I started in 1914.
Yes.
And a revolution, it started in 1917, something like this, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yes. Okay, so because all of these things were in some way were connected with my country. Okay, revolution in Russia, all the Russian soldiers who were loyal to the king, Romanov, come to Serbia because they come to Serbia. Serbia protect them in this period of time, and that was what is happening. Okay, so this is something when I used to tell you, for example, what happened in the past, that our country is really similar to Vietnam. It's similar because of the history. We have a lot of wars, of wars. You know World War I, you know that. World War II, you know this.
Yes.
Okay. Before World War I and World War II, we used to have Balkan War. Balkan War I, Balkan War II, World War I, World War II. We used to have civilian war and NATO bombing. 6 wars in less than 19 years. Yes. 6 wars. Really, really hard wars. Okay. So.
Yeah, word and very bloody, right?
Very bloody, I will give you one example. You mentioned that Vietnamese people right now, you have population around more than 100 million people. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, 100 and a half.
Okay, so yes, and Serbian people right now, we have around 6.4 million people.
Yes.
Really, that is like Hanoi
40
and
times less.
Hanoi
14 times.
and yes, 14 times.
Hanoi has, I think that only Hanoi have more population than your country.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking to tell you Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City combined that have 6.4 million people, but no, Hanoi is bigger than has bigger population than my whole country. Yes, and we used to have, for example, 30, 40 years ago, we used to have 25 million people. Now we have only 6.4 million people.
I think that Vietnamese is just increased, but your country is just less.
Less, exactly.
Yeah, I think that because of some people that because of they like to have great opportunities to like increasing themselves, and they want to find a salary, they want a very good salary, so they decide to go to some big countries like Australia, America, and Canada. Those countries is the only chance that they will become rich. Most of the billionaires nowadays that come from those countries because they earn good educations. They learn about the functional management and taxes and the inventory when they were young. So they have good knowledge, so they become success.
Success. Yeah. Yes, we are having this is called what we are having right now. This is called. Do you know what is the plague? This is like disease that kill people, and in my country we call this white plague. This is something that we have decrease of the people. For example, that means I will give you. We have more people there dying than when comparing to people who are born. So, for example, we have 100 people die today. Okay, they are sick, they are old, die, and we have only, for example, 75 babies. So this is called white plague because, like a disease, we don't have a lot of people, and that is the problem. Okay, with our people, and we are having a problem that is connected, for example, tempo of life. We call this tempo, speed of our life. It's very fast. You need to wake up very early, stay up very late, work the whole week. I'm working the whole week. I'm not stopping. I'm working the whole week. So I don't have any weekends. I don't have anything. And this is why people are tired constantly. We are tired and we don't have energy to have more than one child, approximately one child. For example, in your family, you have your brother, yourself, and your sister. Is that right? 3.
Yeah, 5 people in my family.
Yes, and we all we only have in my family we only have one child. If we have, for example, if we have another child, we don't have time to be with these children because the tempo of life, speed of our life is very fast. Wake up very early. I wake up at 4 a.m. every day, go to sleep at 11 p.m. and every day it's always the same. It is the same. Repeat. Just repeat. Go, 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 go. So not just me. Everyone here in my country are doing the similar thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that because that wait, what's the purpose of you to work full day and you have to wake up very early?
Purpose.
What's the purpose of that?
Purpose. Okay. For example, for ourselves, purpose is of course to make money. So we need to make money. So what is the problem? Okay, one of the biggest problem that we are having, that not just me, not in my country, that we are having. This is the credit you take, for example, from the bank. Most of the countries in West, we have here the mortgage. Mortgage is, for example, when we buy apartment, we buy like a house or apartment, and we take, okay, I will write you in the chat box. Okay, so we used to have, for example, for, okay, so I will give you my example. This is like, okay, I will say, okay, it's a little more, but okay, we can speak like this. Okay, so this is what we, for example, borrow from the bank. We need to return this money to the bank. This is $56,000. $56,000 exactly in 30 years. In 30 years. So
yes,
what
so
is
each year on average? Each year on average that you have to like given about $1,800.
exactly. That would be great. That in those circumstances, that would be great. But when you borrow this type of the money, so I will give you by 1 month. Okay, you like math, you like to calculate. Okay, so approximately, because this is euro, but I don't want you to be confused. I mean, it's a little more because we are taking euros. Euros have are more valuable than dollars, but okay, let's stay with dollars just to you to understand. Every month we our bank take like this from this is one round of the credit. Okay, every month.
Is the bank that is still about $200 in your bank account?
Yes. Okay, so my wife when she got her salary, bank take $200 from her account. So,
yeah. So
so
that's actually not fun.
yes.
So almost like 1/3 or 1/5 of the money is gone with no reason.
Yes, but okay, but $70, you, for example, what is happening? You have this $56,000. Okay, only $70 okay is this is the main thing, the main amount of money that you borrow. $100 goes away.
Yes.
Goes away. So bank take this money from us and don't, for example, don't we are not having less money of this what we need to return. So it says that we, for example, in the beginning, that would be, for example, $55,930 left. They took us 200, but only $70 they move away from our account.
Yeah, I think that the problem is like kind of complicated, like so.
Yes, and the only thing that we can do, why you ask me why, and I'm giving you a little complex answer. Okay, so this is the amount of money that we need to return, but for example, I save some money, and in certain time I collect $3,000, and I go to the bank and give them $3,000. Then we have like $55,930 minus $3,000. Yes. Then we can when you give them a lot of money, that will be okay. But when you every month, if you take every month, they will take only $70. $130 they will keep for themselves. That is the problem. And this is why people are working too much. That because they want to return the money, because this is we start every month with this every month minus $200 every month.
Yeah, so
that is the problem. That is the problem. Yeah. In the last 4 years, we returned $17,000. $17,000 we return in this manner. So we have now less than $39,000. We need to return in the next 26.5 years. We need to return this amount of money. So the only thing is that I save some money, go to the bank and put money in the bank. This is the only thing what we can do. Or win lucky money on some reward, and yeah, this is the only thing. But in the end of the day, we have our apartment. That will be our apartment. Okay, so we will have our place to live. We will not, for example, rent apartment or something like this. So this is the only solution. By the June, we will return like this 33%. I calculate 33% or like this. We will return to the bank, and I think in approximately next 6 or 7 years we will pay everything. We don't need to wait for another, I don't know, 26 years. So we will return in 10 years. We will return the full amount of money.
So that is like a lot of money that being wasted.
A lot of money will stay in the bank, but this is the only way, because we don't have $56,000 to give.
So we use this system to like making like money day by day, right?
Yes, day by day. So in and that is one of the reasons why, for example, I need to work every day. And you need to, for example, $200 you need to give for this. For example, to pay bills, every bills that I'm having, okay, another $200. I need to pay a tax for this job that I'm doing. This is another $300. So in the start, we are starting with $700. We are starting, and I didn't mention any food. This is our start every month. We are having the same thing. 700. We need to give $700 every month. So that is the problem, and this is the reason. Like I mentioned, I am working, and this is not just happening to me. This is happening basically with everyone. Everyone wants to have their apartment. For example, when I get older and I die, I want to leave something to my son that he has, for example, his apartment that he doesn't need in the future. He doesn't need to, for example, to think about this. For example, he will have a fresh start. He will have his apartment.
Yes.
And he only needs to think about his life, something that how he will improve his life, nothing else. That is the main cause. Okay. So that is the question. What is happening? My friend who is living in Vietnam, he used to tell me that tempo of life in Vietnam is not so fast. You don't need to. Okay, as a student, you need to learn a lot of things, but you don't need to sacrifice that a lot. And the life is not so expensive. In Western countries, it's a very, very expensive life.
But I think that the expensive things that like come from the high salary there. I can give you an example in like Korean, like so. So in there, that do you know what the house price is?
No.
For example, if you have 5 billion Vietnam dong in billion Vietnamese dong in Vietnam, you can buy this house I'm standing right here.
5 million dongs.
I think that only about 2 or 3, but I think that we can a house that is 175 square meters. So 1.5 times more than my house. But with that money, do you know what you can buy in Korea?
What?
A small apartment, about 30 square meters.
Okay.
Yes, I don't joke. And the next, and you know why that is so high?
Why?
It's because the salary there is 86,000, average of $86,000 per month. So you can see that the Korean salary, So they receive about the average salary in the South Korea is this about, wait, I don't know what this like. Okay, so it's about $86,000 per hour per month, and that's kind of high. So the land price there is big, is nothing to be surprised. Like example in Australia also. Do you know that when I first landed after an 8 hours flight in the 25th of May 2023, that I'm go there and I have to have lunch because once I'm there, the Australia is 12 12 at about 12
Mm-hmm.
so in the afternoon. So I'm very hungry. So my uncle that she lived there and she asked me to eat something. So I agreed. And then she takes me around and you know what a surprise. That is a bowl of noodles that is cost about $30. In Vietnam, that is 3 days salary of my father. 3 days salary of my father can buy a bowl of noodles.
Wow.
Yes, I'm like surprised. And then I asked that a loaf of bread, a loaf of bread with meat and sausages and sauce that cost $20 to $25 or $20 to $25 or about 2 days of my mother's salary, like so.
Wow. Yes.
And then I asked that I'm surprised because the price here is so expensive because I don't know about Australia yet. But then that my uncle said to me that the average salary here is about $6,000. So there's nothing to surprise about that. But there's one thing that if you convert those to Vietnamese, down, it's actually raised up by a lot. So do you know that if my uncle's salary every month she converts to Vietnamese dong, and then um do you know what? 1 month of work, my uncle, that's enough money for me to go to Australia for 2 months. And if I convert, it's about 112 million down. Not to mention the inflationary now is increasing. $1 just weighs more Vietnamese stuff. So the price just go up. Like so. They're very surprised.
Yes, but did you know that expenses there are very high? Expenses. For example, in south part of your country, in south part, I'm speaking about Ho Chi Minh City and other cities that are in south part of your country. Okay, usually, if I understood correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. If I say something that is not true, just correct me. Okay, so in these parts of the country, you don't have, for example, you don't have winter. Is that right?
Right.
So for you, for your country, you have only spring and summer.
Okay, no. That is more correctly is the dry and the wet weather, and it only exists in the no that is exists in like it only exists in Ho Chi Minh City and the south of Vietnam, and that happens because of the huge multiple mountains. There is that is divide Vietnam from up and down, and that down don't receive any strong winds. Don't receive any strong winds from the south that float the flow in. So that's why that there is people in Ho Chi Minh City that they don't use coat or jackets because the weather there is not at cold at the in Vietnam like so. So like that, and you know that that's mountains that usually that used to be a a division that is the inner. It's called an inner term and the down term. In I think that in about the 16th century, that is Vietnam is have two pairs, one part and another, that they fight against each others, and they all fight because of the king. So they fight each others, but they don't receive any good things. So they, in conclusion, that divide the countries into half, and whoever's that in the areas that they can just control the half of the area. So that's why that we have those kind of mountains. So when you have I think that if you're opportunities that you go to Hanoi in winter, then you notice that it's very cold, super cold, even though it don't snow. And it's in summer, it's very hot. It's very hot, even though it's not as hot as the Sahara Desert. We still feel very uncomfortable like so. But when you go to Ho Chi Minh City, you feel it's much more comfortable.
Yes, but this is one of the reasons why, for example, my friend and some of the friends wants to come to your country because of the weather. This is the first thing. And the second thing, why they want to, also one of the reasons why they want to come is because everything here is cheaper comparing to let's say to my country. So everything is much cheaper. So this is why for example people like to come to your let's say to your country. Weather and much cheaper, because we have here, for example, we need to pay the heat right here. And the heat is, we need a lot of money. If we want to pay the heat, we need a lot of money during this period of time. So that is one of the problems that we are facing here. So yes, one of the biggest problems that we are having here, because in the winter we have a really cold winters, around 4 or 5 months we have a winter, and that is the problem. And for example, if I move to your country, the costs that I'm having, it will be much lower for myself. For example, if I come to your country and be a teacher in your country, I will not spend a lot of money. I will have a big saving. But the problem is I have a family. That is the problem. So because my family, especially my wife, she doesn't want to move to another country. She wants to stay in our country. And this is one of the problems. Okay?
Okay.
So, and I want to ask you, about, for example, what is the job? This is something that interests me. What is the job of your uncle? You mentioned that he is in Australia, and what is his job?
She's a teacher.
She's a teacher.
Yes.
Okay. And your okay, so your aunt is a teacher and uncle?
My aunt is in the KhangN province, about 300 kilometers away from Hanoi, and she's also a teacher.
Also a teacher. Okay, very nice. Now, and okay, and what kind of teacher? English teacher or some other type of the teacher?
So my aunt is a English teacher, and I don't even know what's my uncle or what she's doing. I know that she's a teacher, but I don't know what subject. Because in Australia, there's also some kind of weird subject that I don't even know what's the purpose. But I don't know, so this is just a mystery. It's still a mystery.
Okay, still okay. Let's say a big mystery. Okay, and we have here some teachers in your country. okay, I'm just curious. If this is too much to tell me, can you please tell me, for example, what is the, let's say, what is the salary of teachers in your country? Okay, what are some salaries of the teachers in your country?
The salary in my country, so the
Is a teacher?
let's see. Average of Vietnam is salary. Okay, 2024. About the median.
Mm-hmm.
About 14.8 million Vietnamese down per month.
Mm-hmm.
14.8 million, and that is a bit higher than the average.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
For
So,
example, some kind of people that receive 30 million Vietnamese down per month, like the principal or the whole owner of a company, they receive a lot of money. But there's also some kind of dangerous dangerous jobs, but receive less salary than usual. So do you want me to talk about this?
yes, of course.
Okay, so wait for me. Okay, so wait. Well, I'm trying to find. Okay, so I will tell you about the 10 most dangerous job in Vietnam. 10 of the most dangerous. So first is the fisherman. Do you know that the
Fisherman.
ocean? No, the sea have a lot of different things that we can't predict of. And Vietnam has a long seashore, so these are very popular to all cities located near the sea, like the Haiphong province, the KhangN province, and the Quang Binh province. And to catch the fish, normally fishers have to travel a long way from shore, and they just go back after a few days or even few months. Catastrophe, pirate, and arrest by other nations are three unpredictable periods that all fishers have to encounter. Especially, storms often hit Vietnam seashores about 13 to 15 times per year. Do you know that in 2011, there have been already 5 storms hitting through Vietnam causing damage, loss, and injury um, to hundreds of fishers on sea? Not to mention a year ago, that the China arrested and kept one Quang Binh fish vessel without a reasonable excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very dangerous. The next one is a coal miner. Coal miner. Do you
Miner.
know that the coal miners that they can have a problem with the lungs because they can't breathe the good air like us. Instead, it's all of the bad things. They're all of the bad things in passing from underground, and the construction is it's unique underground. And do you know what happened if there's underground?
Yes.
That you know that's I want to tell you a story about the same thing, which 10 girls in one of the 10 girls died at the same time in 1954 in Vietnam. They become very popular because they tried to remove the bomb from the France that they were that they pushed into it. So the cars that can go in the road drove in Vietnam that day is very dangerous without any safe ways. And 10 of that girls, once they doing the work, they are being stuck under a cave, a small cave that of them go up, and they predict that 10 of the girls will in the teamwork to push it's down, but it's down because that they predict wrong. That the kind of bomb is much bigger than they thought. So 10 of them got stuck there and they died one by one. Yes, one by one, they died one by one because of they stuck there. So the coal, there is the same thing for the coal miners. That the risk is very high, but the salary is very low. Only about $300 to $350 a month. But with some like old coal miners, this is the dream salary. Do you know that some kinds in the in the past, about early 2000s, some coal miners only receive about $200 per per month. Next one is a teacher. I think that you will also like why that I'm using teachers as a dangerous job. So I can tell you something.
Teachers.
Yes, teachers. First is the teachers. You know that first it's very simple thing. The throat. They talk for hours and hours, and you know that this cough is something that they receive literally every day. Like so. And those throats can hurt a lot. And next one is the salary. Do you know? I want to tell you a very sad fact about the teachers. The earning of the beginner teachers, they have to survive. I have to use the word survive because the salary is less. Less than $200. More accurately, $150 per month. 150 for the early teachers when they're out of school and they decided to come to this risky job. Next one is some students are very disbehaviors.
Yes.
And another scary fact. Another scary fact that I want to tell you two examples about something that is very bloody. First is the teachers in KhangN province. That is the student hit that they have blood in the face, or more accurately, that in the head, because the teacher just said to the students from grade 11 that remove the tattoo, but then the student act like that.
Wow.
And the second, the teachers, the student use a sharp knife and they push the knife straight onto the stomach of the teacher, because the teacher that asked the students to wearing uniforms, but then they act like that. So it's very risky. And you're not the kindergarten. It's also very, very tired. It's very tired because that you know that grade 12 is much more comfortable than kindergarten, because the more you grow up, the less teachers have to be in. So
yes, of course.
Right now there is very controversial about the change the kindergarten, like the kindergarten teacher to a list in a dangerous job. And the next one is a policeman.
Okay.
Policeman.
Okay, I understand about
the main purpose is to access and coordinate thousands of different vehicles and treat criminals. And you know that if the criminals are using heroines or any kind of thing that that can cause addicted, in that case, they will you know that it's very scary to say that in that case, taking some time, died. Right. I know about a man, the child about 7 years old that have the dad is a policeman. Unfortunately, he died because of he died during the work. And the only dream of that child is to have one policeman represents his father to take him to school after a long time he stayed at home because of her father died. But not just one, 70 policemen that it also represents his fathers that taking him to school and having gifts for him. That is a shirt that is the shirts that is the same kind as when he the same kind as when he used to live.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very dangerous.
Yes.
That's four of the subjects. No, for jobs. Yes, I think it's the most dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Okay, of course, here, policeman, one of the jobs that is very dangerous is policeman, firefighter, teachers.
Yeah,
no?
Teachers and coal miners.
Miners, of course.
Yeah, coal miners.
Okay,
and the fishermen.
Okay, fishermen in our country, we don't have fishermen in our country because we don't have we don't have oceans or sea, or we don't have rivers.
Yeah, so I think that your country is down adjacent to the sea, right?
Yes, we don't have
Okay, so the geography is normal. But in Vietnam, we have 3,260 kilometers of seaside.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of fishermen.
Fishermen and teachers. Yes, of course. Here also teachers have problems. This is the reason why I'm not working in a public school. Okay, because I'm working online, so no one can force me to do something. But this is the problem that I have. My colleagues, they are working in the public schools, in elementary schools and high school, and they have a lot of problems with students. So I understand this. What you mentioned, I understand this is one of the problems that also is happening in my country. So I understand what you want to say. Okay. Yes. And yes, and they have a problems with, for example, students who are who have a very bad behavior. So this is one of the biggest problems, not just in Vietnam, not just in my country. I think in all of the countries, except that I heard in Japan. In Japan, teachers are very respectful. Okay, a lot of people respect teachers. Okay, even king or queen. Okay, one king used to say that I respect teacher because he taught me everything that I know. So this is how they treat students in how they treat teachers in Japan. Okay, that was quite nice. Okay, wow, so fast. Our class runs so fast today. I can say that you're like always. You're fantastic and amazing. I have to go now because I have another class in soon. I wish you a good night. I know it's late in your country. Okay.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.